Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, just listen. Okay, so today what I'll be doing is I'll be teaching you something called cross multiplication. Now, when do we cross multiply? First thing is, when do we cross multiply? How do I know whether I have to cross multiply or not? That is what we'll have to learn. And then, after you identify whether you can cross multiply or not, then we will show you how to cross multiply. Okay, so the first thing over here. So, look over here first, and the most important thing for your cross multiplication is we need something called an equals to. Like I'm giving you two examples. This is example 1 and this is example 2. Okay, I'm showing you both of them. So the first important thing is there should always be an equals to. Till the time I don't have equals to, I can never ever cross multiply. So equals to has to be there. Okay, this is a must. So I have here also, I have here also. So that means in both the examples we have equals to. So at least for the time being, we can imagine, we can assume that we can cross multiply in both of them. But the second condition says there should be only one denominator. Like on both, this is called the left hand side of your equation, this is called right hand side. So the equals to is the barrier. So on this side of the equals to, we call it left hand side. On this side, we call it right hand side. Similarly over here, this entire thing becomes my left hand side and this becomes the right hand side. So when you are cross multiplying, the second important thing you'll have to check is on both sides of the equals to, on the left hand side and on the right hand side, there should be only one line, means there should be only one denominator. So the over here also have only one denominator, over here also have only one denominator. Okay, so here we can cross multiply. So why? Because there is an equals to and there is one denominator on both sides of the equals to, so we can cross multiply. Whereas if you look in this example, equals to is there, that's very good. But if I look on this side of the equals to, that is on the left hand side, we have how many denominators? We have two denominators on the left hand side and we have one denominator on the right hand side. Over here we cannot cross multiply. So the first important thing is, when can we cross multiply? We can cross multiply only if I have equals to, and then the second thing is there should be only one denominator on both sides. Okay, if I have a certain question where the one side has two denominator and the other side has one denominator, or I may have like this 2x by 4 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 3x by 2 minus 1 by 3. Over here, this is the left hand side, this is my right hand side. Over here also, what do we have? We have two denominators. Over here also we have two denominators. Though they are both two denominators, but still my condition for cross multiplication says there should be only one denominator. So over here also we cannot cross multiply. So over here we can cross multiply. So how to cross multiply, that we are coming. And if I have certain this type of a question or this type of an equation where we do not have one denominator and we cannot cross multiply, then how do we proceed with this type of sum where we cannot cross multiply? I'll come back to this also, but first, since the condition is satisfied over here, we can cross multiply. Now how do we cross multiply? So let's copy the question once again. So this had an equals to plus it had one denominator, so we can cross multiply. So how do we cross multiply? So what will happen? The denominator from the right will multiply with the numerator on the left, and this denominator on the left will go up and get multiplied with this one. So the arrow indicates these are, so it's always the denominators that move. The numerators will remain as it is, they will not go anywhere. The arrow indicates this denominator is going and then is getting multiplied with this, and this is going and getting multiplied with this. But before I cross multiply, before you move them, always go ahead and look at the denominators. Now, if they can be cancelled, you cancel them. Like both of them I can cancel by a 2. Like this can be cancelled. 2 2s are 4, 2 3s is 8. So you try and reduce or decrease the denominators to the lowest form. So you try and make it in the lowest form so that it becomes easier for us. Now even if you don't cancel, it doesn't matter, but advisable you always cancel, because in higher classes you will get such numbers where if I do not cancel, then what will happen? Multiplying with those numbers will become a pretty difficult, or it becomes pretty complicated. So that's why I cancel, and then I'm left with 2x by 2 after cancellation. I'm left with 5 by 3. Now the cancellation is done. I can cross multiply. So the 3 will multiply this. So I put a bracket. Bracket means a multiplication. So the 2 will multiply this. And then what do I get? I get 6x is equal to 5 2s is 10. And then what will happen, this is multiplied, so 6 will come down. I'll get x is equal to 10 by 6, and for the time being you can leave this as the answer, but if someone wants the perfect answer, we can cancel them. 2 5s are 2 3s are, so ultimately my answer is 5 by 3. Okay, that's how we cross multiply. So let's give you one more and then we'll come back to what can I do with these kind of questions. So before that, let's talk about one more example of this. So let's say I have 4x by let's say 9 is equals to, let's say 7 by 12. So over here also there is an equals to, and there is 1 denominator on both sides, so we can cross multiply. So then this will get multiplied with the upper one, this will get multiplied with this one. But before that I check whether is there a possibility. Yes, 3 3s are, 3 4s are. Sometimes I may get certain numbers which may not get cancelled, then I directly cross multiply. But before that, always try and check. Okay, so now this, I'm left with 4x by 3 is equal to 7 by 4. Now the 4 will multiply 4x, and 3 will multiply the 7. So what will happen, 4 4 is 16x, 7 3 is 21, so this will come down, x is 21 by 16. Okay, so that's how we solve this. But let's say if I happen to get a question like this, 2x by 4, the one that I'd given you, this one, okay, minus 1 by 3 is equals to 5 by 8. So then in this case, so over here we have two denominators, over here one denominator, so we cannot cross multiply. So then how do we proceed? So wherever this side I already have one denominator, so I don't have any issues, so this side is perfect. But this side we have two denominators, so I need to do something about it. So what we do is we ignore this. Just imagine this. How do I solve this? We simply find the LCM. LCM of this in the rough is 4 and 3. 2 2s are, 2 3s are, 2 1s are. So I get 2 into 2 into 3. And this I keep on copying it as it is because already has 1. Don't do anything. So then this becomes what? 4 gets cancelled with this one. So in the rough, if you still have a problem, this is a 4. And then with over here I have 2 into 2 into 3. So 4 gets cancelled with this. Left over is a 3. So the 3 will multiply 2x minus over here 3 3, and then what will happen, the 4 gets multiplied with the 1, and then what do I get? I get 6x minus 4 divided by 2 to the 3 is a 12 is equals to 5 by 8. Now if you watch carefully, now there is an equals to also, and then there is only one denominator on both sides of the equals to. Okay, so now what we can do, now we can cross multiply. So what we have to do is, if I do not have that means a question where directly I can cross multiply like this, then you need to go ahead and make sure that you find the LCM, and then once I find the LCM, then you get something like this, okay, where we get 1 denominator. Now we can cross multiply. Now before I cross multiply, again these two can be cancelled. 4 3s are 12, 4 2s are, so I'm ultimately left with 6 minus 4 by 3 is equals to 5 by 2. Now when I cross multiply, what will happen? 2 will multiply this entire thing, so it's more than 1. I put it inside a bracket. Okay, over here also 3 will multiply, and I put this. So what will happen? This will multiply this will multiply 2 6 12x minus 2 4s are 8 is equals to 3 5s are 15. So if I want to find this, this will go first. That side, 12x is equal to 15 plus 8. So then 12x is equals to 23. So x is equal to 23 by 12. That's how we find the value of x. Okay, so let's give you one more example of something like this. Okay, let's give you one more where directly we may not be able to cross multiply. So let's say I have 4x by, let's say 10 minus 2 by, let's say 6 is equals to let's say 3 by 20. Okay, so then this side we have two denominators and over here one denominator, so leave it as it is. This side in the rough it's 10 and 6, 2 5s are, 2 3s are, 3 5 and 5 1 1. So my LCM this side becomes 2 into 3 into 5. So 10 gets cancelled with 5 and 2. I'm left with 3, and this will multiply 4x minus 6, 3 and 2 will go. The 5, I'm left with 2 is equals to 3 by 20. Is that okay? So then what do I get? 3 4s is 12x minus 5 2s are 10 divided by 2 3s are 6, 6 5s are 30, and then this will be equal to 3 by 20. So now we can cross multiply because now I have an equals to and 1 denominator on both sides. But before that I can cancel them. 10 2s are 20, 10 3s are 30. So I'm left with what? I'm left with 12x minus 10 over 3 is equals to 3 by 2. So now this 2 will multiply this, 3 will multiply this. So 2 will multiply 12x minus 10, that is equal, 3 will multiply 3. So we get 24x minus 2 times 20 is equal to 9. So this will go that side. 24x is equals to 9 plus 20. So I'm a limited space, so I'm doing it over here. So I get 24x is equal to 29. So this will come down. X is equal to 29 by 24. And this can't be cancelled. And that's the final answer. So that's how we solve this kind of a question. So that is how we go ahead and cross multiply. Sometimes I may get certain questions where a direct cross multiplication is possible if the condition satisfied. Condition says equals to 1 denominator, but majority of the times what will happen is you will get question like this where you will have questions where the conditions may not directly be satisfied. It's like over here 2 denominators, over here 1 denominator. So later on, once you get used to it, we will be doing this kind of question also where this set also I may have 2 denominators, this set also I may have 2 denominators. So I may have to find LCM here also, I may have to find LCM here also. Okay, so that is how we do it. So this is the initial stage of your cross multiplication. I hope you understood this, and if there is any confusion, any question, please do let me know. Okay, so that's it for the time being. Thank you very much.